Hi, my name is Jesse. I'm a outpatient occupational therapist in a small town in Eastern Washington, and I was very fortunate when I was in grad school to actually hear about the Saebo products at one of my clinical rotations at St. Luke's Hospital. And at the time when I first discovered them, it was pretty eye-opening for me because I was going into a setting that, as a student, I wasn't overly comfortable with, overly confident in. I was trying to figure out not only how to learn and understand all of these complex things as a therapist, but really try to figure out the psychological aspects for my patients of how am I going to help you be engaged and be motivated and want to kind of work through these difficulties, especially if it was after a life-altering injury. And really, how am I going to implement complex things in a session and then get patients to carry them over at home? And that was a really big struggle at first. And then I heard about the Saebo products and I was able to use some of them. Specifically, I used the Saebo Stretch, I used the Pro Stim unit and the Saebo One Stim unit. And I was just quite honestly shocked how easy they were to use. It took this super complex thing for me as a therapist, or a student at the time, I guess, trying to understand how I can help these people, how I can implement things, and how I can get really complex or seemingly complex therapy exercises for patients to do at home. And when I heard about Saebo and got to use them for the first time, it really kind of became the kind of pinnacle for me, the gold standard, really what I was trying to figure out since then, how I can implement again. And now that I'm at my own clinic and am an occupational therapist, and I kind of circled all the way around and was reflecting on grad school and the things that I saw, the things that I was doing, and reached out to Saebo again to try some of their products. And it's been really, really impactful, actually. I've had several patients that were almost getting to the point where they felt like they were plateauing, they were losing their motivation, they were having more difficulty doing things, more difficulty engaging things, and they were really wanting to figure out how they can do more at home now that they're, a couple months beyond a stroke. And I was able to get my hands on some of the Saebo units and was able to actually get my patients' hands on some of the Saebo One Stim units, some of the sensory gloves, and they've been shocked that there is products that are so easy, so simple. Like some of the equipment only has 1 or 2 buttons on it, and these people coming in here super overwhelmed with everything that's changing in their lives, everything that they're dealing with, trying to come to and from therapy appointments when just transportation in itself can be difficult. And then they were able to discover that there's these really high quality, really intuitive, simple to use devices that they can discover in therapy sessions, learn about in therapy sessions, but then take home and work on their own. And I mean, I haven't been able to use them for a super long-term period yet, but just in the time that I have used them so far, I've been shocked how well my patients have responded to them. They've loved the mobile arm support. They've loved the eStim devices. I used one of the Saebo gloves a little bit with somebody, and they're just so motivating for people. They're so easy to use for people. And as a therapist, it's really kind of changed how well I can treat and how well I can serve my patients, because things that used to take a lot of thought to just figure out, like, how am I going to accomplish this task? But now that I'm able to, hook them up to an arm support or hook them up to an eStim device that has a trigger release to kind of activate it only when I want to activate it, it's really made my job not only easier, but it's allowed me to provide my patients with such a higher quality of care that they've been able to have before, especially in a small rural area like I'm at. So I'm thankful for companies like Saebo and for opportunities to try their equipment, and I'm excited to see where we go from here.